right, back in the Cruz with Ricky Wysocki, 2016 champ, and I just want to start there, man. I asked Drew Gibson what his de la memory was, and he pointed to your putt in 2016. So he said it takes a putt like that to win on tour these days. So I just wanted to kind of get your reaction to that comment.
So true. I mean, there's so many people playing at such a high level that putts like that are going to be the separator on the last hole, final round of the tournament. When maybe there's not that many strokes separating the top at this point in where disc golf is right now, so you have to hit a putt to get separation, and so that's what I did in 2016, and it's definitely a memorable putt for me, and obviously for my competitors as well, like Drew. It was awesome to have a putt like that in my career that people still talk about even years after the tournament's over. That moment will still live on as an epic tournament, epic history in the sport, and where Raptor Legs was originated. So it's pretty awesome to experience that.
Yeah, and 2016, you're having a pretty good season then too. 2021 starting to shape up really nicely. We're getting closer and closer to that, the big date on the calendar that you have circled. How you feeling at this phase?
Great. I took a week off after OTB and just kind of recovered the body, and I noticed a little bit of soreness just from being, playing a lot of tournaments in a row, and so I just definitely listened to the body last week and took a week off. Feel real healthy right now, and no aches and pains or anything like that. Still sticking to my regimen, and it's been good. But I definitely needed a week off, and I feel like I'm ready to attack the second half of the season.
Yeah, very different course from the OTB Open, both distance-wise and the fact that we have elevation and rollaways. And I know you've been on the losing into some de las as well. Kind of break this course down. What are you doing out here? What are you strategizing for?
It's such an amazing course because it doesn't matter how far or how short you throw on this course, you can score. The distance isn't too much of a factor. You got to hit your lines. You got to know where discs skip, where the gravity affects the disc in certain ways, where you can go for a putt, where you can't. And so you definitely it's strategical more than any course. Like OTB was just bomb it and then throw controlled upshots into the green. Whereas here you got to throw controlled drive, controlled upshot, or putt, whatever it may be. And so there's always a mental challenge on each hole, and each hole is a little bit of a different mental challenge. And so it's awesome. Some holes you got to throw a pinpoint drive to give yourself a putt, and some shots you got to throw just a good enough drive and just to give yourself a chance at a putt. And so there's so many fast greens, so many fast fairways that you can never relax. There's always that. You can always get daylight at any moment, even when you don't think you can. So you really have to stay at high alert, and so it's just an amazing course, knowing that if you're top 20, top 30 in the world, you can win the event. And I think that's for a lot of people that's a motivation or confidence booster for them. But for me, I still feel like I can win. It's just going to be a little bit different of a skill set. You got to really come in here. I think I throw like one distance driver out there, maybe I-5. Is the only hole that I throw a distance driver on. Everything else is fairways, mids, and putters, and just controlling the speed. And that's the biggest thing out here is just speed control on your drives.
All right, I know it's going to be hard to top, but I'll give you the favorite de la memory at the origin of Raptor Legs and a tournament-winning putt. That's hard to top. Do you have another one?
Let's see here. Barsby's roller ace. I wasn't even there for that, but that just tells you how epic that is. A roller racing hole. What is hole 4? It's now different hole in the tournament layout this year, but hole 4, the regular course, Barsby acing that. That's just roller acing that is just epic. Everyone's seen videos, everyone's heard him talking about it. That shot is, even if we don't come back here for a tournament ever again, or the history of disc golf is that'll make history. So I think that the Raptor Legs and that, I'm a part of the Raptor Legs, but I still think that was a big part of the history out here at De La, and I think that obviously Barsby, I show mad respect and appreciation for that shot. That'll live on forever.
Hey Rick, Chris with Gatekeeper Media. Just a couple quick questions. It being longer than like an 18-hole course, you have to put up 24 holes in a round. Do you do anything different in your warm-up, pregame, or routine when you're out there?
Yeah, so there's actually supplements that I can take that I work with a nutritionist obviously full time, and so he's awesome because he forms my game plan as far as nutrition for each tournament. He's a disc golfer. He knows all the ins and outs. So there's certain supplements I can take mid-round to give myself a little energy boost going into the end of the round. And so I'm changing my supplements up a little bit. I drink a lot of green tea during the round to keep my sustained energy levels up. So it's more about keeping my energy levels up throughout the round, especially being a longer round out here, being 24 holes. So Yeah, I think it's my nutritionist. So we're gonna talk to him tonight, give him a text message, and see what we can tweak to give me some energy throughout this long daylight round.
Awesome. And I know this is one of your favorite courses. How does it feel to be back in the woods? We really haven't been in the woods in quite some time.
Yeah, no, it's a great point because we haven't. I mean, San Diego and Goat Hill was in the open. OTB was more in the open, and so it's just a whole different beast out here at daylight. It's so fun though. It's just every shot is fun and enjoyable. I know all my buddies that are on tour. We're all talking about how just enjoyable each shot is. It's you're not throwing as hard as you can. You're just hitting your angle. Floating a putter, floating a mid-range on a certain angle. You have to work angles and all that stuff. So that's just, it's fun to throw those kind of shots. A lot of people like seeing us throw 550, 600-foot bombs, but we also like to shape shots too. We can do that. We have the skill sets to do it. We just don't get to utilize it as much because the courses nowadays are like OTB, they're like Goat Hill, they're just bomber courses. But I definitely enjoy throwing, rock shots, pig shots, and putter shots as well. So it's just a fun skill set to be able to showcase for the fans as well, for them to see that we can throw touch shots as well.
Awesome. Last question from me. You do a lot of practice rounds out here. You get a lot of reps in. Once that all finishes up, it's the end of the day and the rounds tomorrow. What's that look like for you? What do you do on your day-to-day?
Yeah, so I'll get like a massage. I'll do an ice bath. I'll do just as much recovery as I can to get my body ready for the next day. I like to play early practice rounds, so I think it gives my body more time to recover, especially if I'm playing like today, the day before the tournament. Play at like 8 a.m., get done by 10, and have pretty much a whole day to recover, but yet still have a practice round. So I like to play early, beat the crowds, and give myself my body time to recover and be in tip-top shape for the tournament.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Rick, you mentioned a lot of the new courses being open bomber courses. This course obviously stands out, just not just for the technicality, but also for its history. As the sport develops, how important is it for us to hold on to these traditional courses and build on the traditions that kind of built the sport?
Yeah, that's such a touchy subject because I think that disc golf, there's got to be that history and the roots of where it came from, and so I think that's for that part. This event is amazing, but it's also amazing to see the growth of the sport and see how much disc golf's not kind of in a way outgrown this Daylaw, just because for the sole reason of like parking and all this stuff. The tournaments weren't as big back then. There wasn't as many spectators. All this stuff wasn't calculated as much back then. So it's in that aspect we're outgrowing Daylaw, and it's kind of sad because I can kind of see it's getting weaned out. And I've heard some rumors saying that we're not going to be back here at Daylaw next year. I don't know how true that all is or what's happening, but I think that there needs to be history. I think that's something in the sport of disc golf that a lot of our majors and stuff and different things, worlds, they change a lot. So it's hard to create history at a course. And so this is the one course that we have that at. It sounds like it's going to get removed, which is kind of a soft spot for me because even before I came out here, there was history. And as I'm playing throughout my career, there's built more history with my Raptor leg putt, with the Barsby roller ace. So it's just the next generation's creating history, and it's kind of like going away, which is tough to see. But I see the sport outgrowing this venue for all the different reasons, like I said earlier. And so I can see both sides, but I'm kind of bummed that we may not come back to Daylaw. That's a total bummer for the sport and for the fans not being able to see us attack this course.
You mentioned that a course like this really opens up to the field. The top 25, 30 players really have a chance of winning the event. As one of the top players in the game, do you enjoy that challenge, or do you try to step up your game a little bit more, knowing that a lot more players have a chance to win?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the biggest thing I notice is there's newer players making lead cards, making feature cards that don't normally, because they may not have the distance or whatever, but they have the shot making skills, and they're still amazing players. No, you can't take that away. And so it's cool to see players that may not have the opportunity to make a feature card, play under the pressure of being near the lead with a big gallery on this amazing course. And so it's cool to see other players get exposure and really get a taste of what it feels like and how what it takes to play at a high level all week on a tough course.
We saw you break out the Raptor legs at DDO memorably on the island hole, and there's a lot of talk about the birth of Raptor legs here. Just give us a little background. Is that something that you did growing up? I'm sure you had some Raptor leg moments before the cameras were on you.
Yeah. So basically the way Raptor leg started was it obviously started all here. But the funniest thing was I made that putt obviously in 2016 for the win, and just naturally celebrated. Ran up to, you know, grabbed my disc out of the basket, all excited, and just pumped that I, you know, just made this epic shot at this epic moment. And so it just kind of naturally came out. And then I heard a fan say something, the Raptor legs, nice putt, and I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. And so then I was like, all right, Raptor, that might stick. Like, that's kind of cool. I feel like I can claim that. I should claim that. I feel like I earned that. And then I look back at the video, I'm like, wow, that's cool. I do look like I Raptor legged all the way to the basket. And then people were starting to comment on it, and then so it was more the fans gave me that nickname, and so that's why I think that people love it when I bring it out, because it's like the fan, you know, created a nickname for me and it stuck, and so like the fans love it, and I love, you know, embracing it, because it's like, yeah, they came up with it. I give them full credit. I don't even know what you know, I probably will never remember, but you know, I just remember seeing a comment too one time that it was like, oh, Raptor legs for the win, you know, like, and so. Yeah, it was just a cool experience to be able to feel that energy and the nickname being created without me even knowing it. I wasn't trying to do Raptor legs. I was just, you know, just like they always say, the most genuine things happen without you even knowing it. So it was a perfect moment and perfect showcase for that saying.
Last question, Rick. Obviously, you're gunning for a world championship here in a few weeks. At this point in your career, major titles are probably you know, the most important goals for you. How do you look at an event coming in to an Elite Series event? Do you get as pumped up for this as you did earlier in your career?
Yeah, I mean, an Elite Series event is the biggest events that we have. I mean, so I think that, you know, I play some of the Silver Series, and, you know, I try to get as pumped as I can, get the blood going and get the fire to win. But Elite Series, anytime it's an Elite Series, I'm practicing all week. I'm preparing myself to win, and so. The Elite Series is, yeah, it's no different than preparing for a major. I mean, obviously majors mean more, and they're, you know, to us players, but I mean, we want to win them all that we play, and so I make sure that if I'm playing a tournament, I'm trying to win. I'm trying to take it serious. I'm trying to just showcase my skills and show what I can do out there. So the Elite Series has grown a lot, even in the players' eyes, we respect the Elite Series to the point where, yeah, it means almost just as much as a big major.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to seeing you play this weekend. Best of luck, and hope to see some Raptor legs out there.
Hopefully I can bring him back.